Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this day. It is Friday, May 31st, and they are kind of doing some work on the roof above us here. So if you hear a little banging during the show today, well, you know, they got to get the job done. They're working on the HVAC system. So just to let you know, on our show today, Gary Morrison is here from United. He is their financial person, their treasurer, is going to give us a report. Also, the El Toro Water District, we have the board president, Jose Vergara. He's been on our show now and then over the years. Good to have him back. And one of the main things he's going to talk about today is, you might have heard that the governor wants to start taxing water, have a special water tax, which most water districts are against, as El Toro is. He's going to tell us the ins and outs of that, what could happen if that comes to fruition. Also, we have Dr. Stephen Tucker here today. He's a conductor for the UCI Symphony. And what's really interesting, we're going to talk about two events, something coming up at UCI, but something also coming up at Soka University that he is involved with his twin brother, both conductors. So that's going to be fun to talk about. All right, meetings today, there is one. United has their M&C budget meeting, and this will take place at 9:30. Actually, it's scheduled to go all day, so keep that in mind if you want to go to that. Of course, looking at the 2020 budget, that's what all these budget meetings are about. Now, before we go to the weather, I want to tell you about today's the day that if you still are using analog, that the Channel 3 guide, the Channel 3 analog guide is going away today. And this is actually the last day of it. Sometime during today, this will go away. And there'll still be a digital interactive guide. However, that is something that if you plug into the wall to get your cable right now, that no longer will work to get you a guide. You'll have to look into getting a set-top box. They have different ones that you can get. They have little mini boxes. If you want to go full on and get the DVR or whatever you want to do. But if you've been used to the old style Channel 3 guide, well, time marches on, and today's the time is up for that guide. So if you have any questions, you can call Broadband Services, 949, let me get out of the way here, 949-837-2670, or email grfbroadband@vmsinc.org for more information on that. Now, let's get to the weather. Oh, look at this is the Michael John tournament, by the way, that's going on. It started yesterday. It's going to be going on at Clubhouse 5 all weekend. And you are going to see some of the best table tennis players in the area, in the country. And actually, it's not just seniors. It is, I think it starts, if I'm not mistaken, we were told 40. They have people ages 40, or they have different divisions at different ages. And that's how they determine the tournament. So all different ages are here, from 30 or 40 all the way up to people playing in their 80s, even 90s. So it's quite incredible. If you want to go over there, you certainly can. It's free to do so. And it's pretty much going all day today and then Saturday and Sunday. Here's the weather. As I've been saying, the weather's going to be pretty consistent, a little bit more of a heavy marine layer, and then turning sunny on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That'll be a little bit thicker. We got a little bit of that today, and then Tuesday into next week. But really, for a stretch of, I think, really looking forward into next week, 7-8 days out, we're going to be into this pattern here. We're going from, May gray today all the way to June gloom, and that's normal. The only thing that's not normal is usually these temperatures are all up by about 5 to 7 more degrees. But the June gloom, that is normal. Let's take a look around the state this weekend. And certain areas, Tahoe and Yosemite, the Sierras, basically are looking at some thunderstorms. Even here, you know, the possibility of the mountains here, Arrowhead and Big Bear and Wrightwood and all those areas, they have the possibility of an afternoon thunderstorm all the way through, I think, of Monday for the next few days. And same thing up in the Sierras. But other than that, not really warm, certainly not really cold anywhere in the state, just mild weather. Well, Palm Springs is a little warm, but that's pretty normal for them. So just a beautiful stretch of weather everywhere you go this weekend. So check that out. All right, we'll be back just a moment.
At our new Memorial Wave Imaging Center in Laguna Woods, formerly Orange County Diagnostics, you can expect the same precise imaging, multiple modalities for your imaging needs, and the same friendly staff with medical providers like Dr. Syed Sharakni. The Laguna Woods Transportation Service offers convenient access right to our door, and we continue to provide the care and compassion that you expect from our new Wave Laguna Woods location.
Diane's Hallmark is a family-owned Gold Crown store that is much more than just a card store. Our women's department has apparel, accessories, and jewelry featuring Vera Bradley and Bagalini handbags. Our religious department carries many different Christian books and Bibles, plus a great selection of Christian gifts. Of course, we have a large selection of cards and gift wrap as well. Come in and experience our personalized service.
Welcome to South County Adult Day Services. Conveniently located right here in Laguna Woods, we provide a safe, secure environment where you or your loved one can spend the day. Come socialize with friends, engage in enriching activities, receive the expert care you need, and participate in fun hobbies. Improve your mental and physical health and maintain your independence. We even take care of transportation. For a free tour, call us at 949-855-9444 or visit us at our center between El Toro and Moulton Parkway right next to the Olive Garden.
Welcome back. I'm Kiana Lee. Today we're talking to Dr. Chuck Lee of 7-Day Dental. Today's topic is teeth whitening. Doctor, what do we need to know about teeth whitening? Dad.
Oh, the whitening kit whitens teeth up to 5 shades in 10 minutes, and it's zero sensitivity.
Thank you, doctor. So come on in and get your 7-Day Dental smile.
Well, we got a busy man here today because he is with United and he is their treasurer, and they got a lot of meetings coming up for the budget season. So I'd like to welcome Gary Morrison, and you've got a few things to talk about. Obviously, you're going to talk about some financials, but yeah, this is a busy time of the year.
Very busy.
Yeah.
And before I start, I hope everyone had a good Memorial weekend and had fun.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to start out by saying our financials for the end of the year were audited by KPMG for 2018, and in their opinion, the statements were presently and fairly presented in all material respects, and the position of the United Laguna Woods Mutual as of December 31st, 2018 and 2017. The results of operations and cash flows for the years ended are in accordance with U.S. generally accepted accounting principles. And as you're aware, we had a reserve study by Association Reserves, and they recommended we have annual full funding contributions of $11,820,000. The current rate is $11,229,648, with a difference of $590,352. So that's $93.36 a year per man, or $778 a month. So we're looking at maybe an $8 per month increase in our monthlies to cover our budget reserves. We're going to go on now to the statement of revenues and expenses. Our income statement as of 4/30/2019, Our actual revenue to date was $14,123,029 compared to the budget year to date of $13,609,982. So we were better than budget by $513,047, mainly due to property taxes and supplemental property taxes of $433,000 more than the budgeted amount. We had $70,000 for fees charged to residents, $55,000 interest income, and we had a loss of $42,000 in resale processing fees. And that's because our sales have been down. We also were down in additional occupant fees of $10,000. So our actual expenses year to date were $14,077,847 compared to budget of $14,263,772. So we were better than budget by $185,926, mainly due to less expenses than budgeted in the areas of compensation and compensation-related expenses. We had $68,000 more expenses in materials and supplies. We had less expenses in utilities and telephone of 9%, which is mainly due to less water usage. Generally, those were the main reasons for our change. So the operating fund shows an operating surplus of $45,000 through the reporting period. So $13,471,000 of this are from assessments, $652,000 are coming from non-assessment revenues. This is compared to the operating expenditures of $14,078,000. After backing out depreciation, which is not funded through operations, we see a bottom surplus of $45,000. The most significant variable variances from budget were attributed to outside services, which were $523,000 because of timing. Budgets are spread evenly over the year, and therefore items like tree trimming are done in only certain parts of the year, so therefore it appears like we're better off than we really are at this point in time. Our compensation, employee compensation, $177,000 due to vacancies in maintenance and construction services. Union medical costs coming in lower than budgeted. Further, less participation in non-union retirement and lower workers' comp insurance payments than anticipated. An offsetting variance included materials and supplies of a negative $256,000. This variance was due to the timing of water heater replacements because we are addressing a backlog of water heater replacements this year. Our non-assessment revenues received to date of $80,000 by category, starting with our largest revenue category, fees and charges to residents, followed by interest income, laundry revenue, and so forth. Our balance sheet as of the end of April, $78,545,488. Our prior year was $78,334,314. So the balance sheet decrease to date is $211,174. Our operating fund, $57,156,739, contingency fund $2,623,857, and our replacement fund of $18,764,892, which totals $78,545,488. Our changes in fund balances. Preliminary, our operating fund was $416,342. Contingency, a minus $37,642, and a replacement, $333,517, for a total of $45,183. Our delinquency report as of May 21st, we had a current month count of 12 for 106,768. Our prior month was 14, 105,940, which was down 2, and so, but we were up $828. We have 6 files that are with collection agents. We have 1 approved payment plan. We have 2 files submitted to legal counsel. We have 1 lender foreclosure, and we have 2 maintaining a balance below $1,800. Chargeable services delinquencies, current month 25 at 147,646, prior month 22 at 131,573. So we're up 3 and up $16,073 from the previous month. Our monthly resale report, we had this year to date 92. Last year it was 114. So we're actually down 22 sales from a year ago, or 19%. Our sales volume as of April 2019 is 24,957,351. Our sales volume as of April 2018, 32,054,840. So we're down 7,097,489, or 22%. Average resale price year to date is $269,000. Average resale price last year to date, $281,000. So we are actually down 11, almost 12,000, or 4% year-to-date change. Our monthly leasing is 9%, pretty much staying stable as the last few months. Excuse me. We have been working on a payment plan form to be updated for language to clarify that the interest is calculated on unpaid delinquent assessments and not fines or fees. So a motion was made and passed to recommend that the board approve a monthly administration fee of $25 and replace the one-time setup fee of $50 per payment plan. The motion was made, carried unanimously to recommend that the board adopt the proposed payment plan agreement. Assessment form and policy resolution was presented. The payment plan for delinquent assessments, the governing docs review requested changes. The payment plan is on a case-by-case basis. Mutual is under no obligation to grant requests. The Finance Committee voted to initiate an interest rate of 12% per year and a one-time administrative fee of $50. I wanted to discuss the recognition agreement. As most of us have probably heard or seen, the Orange County Register had an article a couple weeks ago which stated that United would not allow banks to come in here other than one bank, NCB. This is not true, and I am all for competition. Now, what the difference is, in Third, you have a condominium which you can obtain a mortgage on that condominium. In what we have in United, we get a loan. It's not a mortgage because we have a share of stock. So it's not something that the bank can come in and repossess a unit because we have a share of stock and we have a right to occupy the unit. So United has had approximately 24 banks that have requested to come in here, and then as soon as they see the recognition agreement, they back out and don't want to be involved. And that's because NCB has made that agreement that if they're funding or carrying the loan and we have the people do not meet their obligations on a monthly basis, then NCB steps in and makes that monthly payment for them. Now, most banks don't want to get involved in that. So The Orange County Register did not report the whole truth to the lending procedure. So I just wanted to get that out there so that people didn't think that we were anti-competition. Golf cart charging violations. Motion made and carried unanimously, recommending that the board approve the golf cart policy to include a fine for golf carts cited using mutual electricity without an annual electric golf cart decal. Damage reimbursement fee. This is to impose a monetary charge as a means of reimbursing the association for costs incurred to the repair of damage to common area caused by a member or a member's guest or tenant. The Finance Committee voted to impose a 10% reimbursement cost for all reimbursement values over $1,000. The Investment Task Force, as I've stated for a couple months, we haven't met because we've had some of the members have been very ill, and so we're going to be meeting again in June. We want to make sure that we have a vendor that is working with our best interests at heart and using our funds appropriately. And we basically want to do is lower our monthly charges for managing the account. It's the financial qualification policy was voted down. And this was to reinstate guarantors for a guarantor policy change, and that was voted down. We are currently reviewing the solar package, and so that is a task force which is being presided over by Sue Margolis, and they are looking at our solar contracts from the past, finding out if JCI has appropriately been abiding by the contracts. So we'll have more on that later. Roundup will no longer be used in the village. We have found a substitute which is a rather minor amount of money, has been tested and seems to work well, so that will be changing. The election schedule was introduced. It was a contract to Unilect to perform the inspectors of the election for services in 2019 annual meeting. Non-smoking policy is going to be voted on, or it's in a 30-day right now. And the non-smoking policy states that smoking is only permitted in the interior of the manor with windows and doors closed. There's no smoking in any common area. We also talked about a policy for distribution of materials by residents and resident organizations. Civil Code 4515 went into effect January 1st of 2018, and which basically allows all of our owners to utilize the common areas for meetings and gatherings and canvass and petition within the community pertaining to association elections and legislation. Revisions to gutters and downspouts. We have a problem on our buildings, and so we're going to be addressing this, and anyone who is themselves putting in downspouts or whatever, they must proper drainage such as a dry well or onto the pavement or splash block routes the water 5 feet downhill from the foundation of the building and onto properly graded soil. Dry wells must be 5 feet from the buildings if possible. We at United are going to be addressing downspouts and drainage basically because right now we have a lot of water that's causing damage to our foundations, so we want to get that taken care of. There's a payment plan for chargeable services. There'll be an administrative fee for the repayment of penalties and fees for chargeable services, and they'll pay an administrative fee of $25 for every month the agreement is in effect. They'll be responsible for the payment of attorney's fees, costs, interest, late fees, and assessments incurred on the undersigned owner's assessment account before the agreement, and the assessment will be deemed paid in full. Private caregiver policy, that's going to pretty much stay the same. Caregivers will be allowed in the village, and policy will have to be adhered to. We authorized a supplemental appropriation of $105,000 from the contingency fund to provide fumigation and hotel accommodations during the 2019 fumigation program at an estimated cost of $216,000. The budget was originally $218,000, and it was reduced, and the number of buildings requiring tenting has increased. I want to also say an HO6 insurance policy is, and I say this every time I'm on, make sure you have an HO6 policy to protect yourselves in case of a leak or a fire that is caused in your residence and infringes on someone else. Moisture intrusion, I think we're getting a hold on this. We're starting to see that our sewer line remediation is starting to show that we're reducing our expenditures monthly. We're going to start supply line remediation next year, and this will be escalated once the waistline remediation is under control or completed. The handyman program right now is working, we're having more expenses than income, and this is going to be addressed at our budget meeting to see what we're going to do, if we have to increase, or just exactly what we're going to do with it. Flood buzz was voted, we're not going to address the purchase of flood buzz for the water heater, sinks, and toilets. Cost of living, which I brought up, was of 3%, was denied. So we'll not be adding that into the budget. And I'm going to just quickly do from the, I'm on the GRF Finance Committee, and so the income statement revenue was $14,229,000 compared to the budget of $14,878,000. So it was worse than budget by $449,000 due to less rounds of golf played, less trust facility fees, less rounds of golf also presented itself to lower merchandise sales. Clubhouse rentals and event fees were also down. Actual expenses year-to-date, $13,406,000 compared to a budget year-to-date of $13,838,000, resulting, we're better than budget by $432,000 due to timing. And that's it.
Okay. All right, lot to report. I thank you very much, and again, busy time for all of you.
I'm on my way to M&C budget now, which is going to be all day.
All right, and you have a good day, a good weekend.
Thank you very much.
Take care, Gary.
Good to see you.
There's something that I need in return.
Name it.
Taylor Mason. I want them in a cell.
Take them out.
This I do.
Get with it, people. Have fun storming the castle.
New episodes, only on Showtime.
Hi, I'm Brian Rott, President and CEO of Cartmart here in Laguna Woods. My family's been in the golf cart business since 1959, and we win our customers over with the simple belief of we treat you right. We are proud to be the authorized dealer for Club Cart here in Orange County and your go-to source for the sales and service to other major brands. We're conveniently located on El Toro Road, just minutes from Laguna Woods. So come by and see for yourself, while when doing business with Cartmart, there's no reason to go anywhere else.
At Freedom Village Assisted Living, we provide loving care and support when your loved one needs it most. We believe in laughing more and caring more. Dining will be an experience, not just a meal. We offer opportunities to create new memories. Your family will feel like they are part of our family as we work toward creating an extraordinary difference in lives worth living. To schedule a tour and complimentary lunch and for more information, please call us at 949-340-8108 or visit our website, freedomvillage.org.
Parkinson's disease is a neurological movement disorder affecting an estimated 1 million Americans, including many under age 40. It has no cure. Parkinson's is not limited to how a person moves. It can also cause symptoms like depression, fatigue, and impaired speech. Today, there is a new diagnosis every 9 minutes, though Parkinson's can be present for years before being diagnosed. The American Parkinson Disease Association is the largest grassroots network in the United States, working to help ease the burden and find the cure. For more than 50 years, APDA has funded pioneering research and provided critical support to those affected by Parkinson's. Visit apdaoptimism.org today to find out how you can help millions live with dignity and optimism. Your action today will help APDA put an end to Parkinson's disease.
Welcome back. Well, from the El Toro Water District today, we have their board president, Jose Vergara. Great to have you here today, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, Ken.
Always good to see you. And today you're going to talk about well, some things that have been in the news recently. And one of the proposals that the governor is talking about is taxing water more and all this. But you're going to go through kind of the backstory on this and what this is all about. And really, a lot of the water districts are looking at this going, no, wait a second, let's get a plan in place.
That's correct, Ken. The reason I'm here is for tax, but I just want to give you a short update. A couple months ago, one of our directors resigned. He moved out of the service area, Director Goldman. So we appointed somebody else. So we have a new director. Her name is Kate Havens.
All right.
And she lives in Laguna Woods. So you may have seen her, I know.
Okay.
Just an update. One of the things I want to discuss today is the water tax. Let's go back to 2012. In 2012, the legislature declared that every human has the right to have potable water. And basically, water is a human right.
Right.
And when a state makes that resolution, they have to provide that service, that right, that water. So ever since then, the governor has focused and the legislature has focused on trying to solve a problem. The problem has become evident few years ago when there was a big drought and you saw there were populations, some small communities along the Central Valley and the Northern California that didn't have enough water. So they had to bring bottled water to them. That's when most of the problem is exposed. So there are about 300 systems in California that don't have pure water. They drill water from the well that gets usually contaminated with the time. It goes dry when the levels of water, groundwater goes down. They don't have water. So these people have to suffer. I mean, in the richest state of the country, problem because they don't have water. So it's becoming a concern of the governor that has to be solved. And believe us, the water district, the water agencies, we agree with the governor in this. We agree that nobody should go in California drinking bad water. So, and it is our job to make sure that water gets delivered. That's what we do for a living. We make sure that everybody gets water.
Right.
So one of the things, so we agree with the governor, we agree with the legislature, but we don't agree in the system that the governor plans to implement, which is collecting a tax. To make it simple, the tax will provide a bunch of money that they will then deliver according to nobody knows because they don't have a plan.
Right.
So we are proposing to the legislature, why don't we get together and prepare a plan, a solution, an engineering solution to the problem. We find out how much it costs, and then we make an implementation plan. And based on that, now you know how much money you need. We can find out the solution. And we discovered that in the last couple of years, the state has a surplus of $24 billion.
Right.
So why don't we take that money and put it into a fund, and then we start solving the problem instead of making the water district become a tax collector.
Right.
Because every year we have to raise our rate because of the cost of the chemistry, because of the cost of bringing the water. Now we're going to add more by adding a tax. We don't agree with that. And even though that's the case, the governor started proposing, it's only 95 cents. It's only 95 cents per household. Well, do you trust that?
No.
When we started...
Nothing with the state I trust.
When we started putting gasoline, it was 5 cents gasoline or 2 cents. Now how much we put in gasoline?
Right.
So, because then you find a way to increase it all the time. So, and the idea is that water tax will be 90 cents, but who knows? It's going to go up. There will be affordability, because the problem is also some people don't have enough money to pay for the water. So you have to subsidize that. So pretty much is that. So you will see in the legislature a couple of efforts. One, trying to establish a fund to deliver the money, and with a little oversight. And on the other side is the Senate. The Senate is saying, well, I agree with the water agencies because we want to have a system. But the governor has the ace in his hand because he has a trail bill put there. Now, trail bill...
and we've got this on the, I think on the next slide, the water tax proposals.
That's correct.
Have all that.
So the trail bill is actually part of the budget and will be approved. If they approve the budget, it will go through exactly collecting the tax. The idea is that they will collect tax on the water and also on the farmers. There we go. So there are two bills proposed, one by Garcia, AB 217, and one by Bloom, is AB 134. Basically, they establish a tax for water and ag, and they will say, well, we'll put some oversight so you don't spend much. Then the trail bill from the governor is the one that is waiting. So in the other side, we had the Senate, the state Senate, that said, well, I kind of agree with the agencies. Why don't we have a plan first? Then Senator Moonin put a proposal that says, we establish a safe fund, and we have the state board develop the plan, implementation of a plan, and then now we know what we're going to be spending and how, and then we know what kind of money. And then let's take 150 million every year from the fund that we have in the state, put it for the water. Now, if we don't need that anymore, we'll reduce it. If we need a little bit more, we reduce it. So at this moment, we kind of we are on the side of the Senate. What we need to do is convince the governor and the assemblyman that this is the correct way, because we don't like really the job of tax tax collector.
So on the this trailer bill, again, this is something, as you said, but it's on this one that you put on this slide here, the governor's budget trailer bill.
The next slide.
Yeah, the next slide, and it says it ranged from 95 cents to $10 a month, just depending. Well, that is a tremendous amount of increase.
It is, and if we add 24, it will be about 24% on the water bill. And we don't want to do that. This year, for example, El Toro is thinking and coming like 2.4 increase. And we are minimizing that the much we can because the water in Metropolitan went 4% and all costs of other things that we need to. But we adjust, we have reserve, we adjust so the impact on our community will be small.
Right.
But if we have to add taxes, we'll be the bad guys.
Yeah.
And the governor will get the money and I don't know where they will use it. So my purposes of being today here is to let the people know that there are two proposals in the state assembly and in the Senate, that the idea is that there will be tax, and if you can call or deal with your elected official, tell them, no, you don't want tax. Tax is not the solution. Let the professional in the water industry deal with it. Find the solution, and then once you have a plan, then you start finding the money. And we have the money. And the last slide, I'm proposing basically I'm announcing what the position of El Toro is.
Okay.
We oppose any legislation that will increase the tax and will make us tax collectors. We also support the position of the state Senate, which is create a fund, start with 150 million every year, and we start solving the problem, but we need to have a solution, a plan with an implementation. So we're working currently with other water agencies in the state, especially the ACWA, which is the Association of California Water Agencies, illustrating and helping educate the senators and the Congress and assemblymen to make sure that they understand the problem and the solution that we propose. So be aware, no tax is the solution.
Right.
We'd rather have a trust or a fund created by the current excess money that we have to start solving the problem.
Okay, so is there a plan in place, meaning where the water agencies are working with the Assembly and the Senate and the governor with these proposals, going up to them and having a group that's...
Last year, actually, when prior Governor Brown, we actually had a plan. We created a plan. We identified the problem and we proposed the solution. The Assembly passed bills approving that proposal. The Senate also approved that proposal. But when it went to the desk of the governor, he vetoed it because he said, no, I want the tax, I want the money, because without money, I cannot plan anything. So then the Governor Brown left, and we have a new governor, Newsom. He came with the same idea of the tax. The good thing is that he has placed in certain positions younger people, very smart people, very open to dialogue, and we have been meeting with them. So we have been meeting with them, they are kind of listening, but we're conscious that there is a problem, and what they don't want to happen is that this problem will continue forever. He said, if we decide arguing, we will take years to find a solution. We're saying, no, we have a plan already. And that's what we are doing. We're trying to implement real plans to make sure they know what we're doing.
All right, very good. So let's hope your ideas and the water district's ideas are the one that they go with, because it's getting to the point in the state that
people
are leaving.
Cannot afford, I mean, every time that somebody think about something, it's a tax.
It's a tax,
we cannot live with that, though.
Jose, always good to see you, sir.
Pleasure being here.
You take care, and we'll be right back.
We all know there's no place like home. You want to stay in your own home, but day-to-day tasks are getting more difficult to manage. Acticare is the solution. We are the trusted care partner in your community with 5-star reviews. You've taken care of others all your life. Now is the time to let us help you. In-home care is a safe and effective way to help you remain living independently in the comfort of your own home.
Acticare, responsive in-home care. Your first day is free.
I had been with another hospice for my husband, Ed. After about 2 months, I thought, they're not doing much for me. So I went to the computer and brought up the list of hospices, and there was OC. Their response was immediate. They did everything. They had all their ducks in the row, and that's what I was looking for. It was comforting till the very end, and then at the very end, the last 3 days, you know, it was continuous care, and nobody ever left him.
Are your hearing aids not working as well as you'd like? The person who programs your hearing aids is way more important than how much you spent on them. The good news is that we can help. I'm a retired electronics engineer who will precisely reprogram your hearing aids to your unique hearing loss. If that doesn't give you significantly better hearing, I won't charge you a dime. You have nothing to lose and better hearing to gain. So call Hearing Remedy right now and ask for your personal better hearing appointment.
Well, I'd like to welcome back with us today Dr. Stephen Tucker, and he is the conductor for the UCI Symphony. It is always good to see him, and he's going to talk about a couple presentations they're going to be having. One is really kind of unique. Welcome, sir.
Oh, thanks.
Good to have you here today.
Thanks.
So, you know, let's talk about the first one, because it's the second one that is, they're both neat, but the second one's I know special to you. The first one's coming up on Friday, a week from today, June 7th, and this is the symphony orchestra that you conduct, and you're going to have a couple singers there as well?
Well, they're not singers. It's a clarinet duo.
Oh, okay.
They both play clarinet. They're coming in to do the world premiere of a work written by one of my past students, actually. He was a graduate student at UC Irvine and has now made his name as a composer, composing for quite a few, you know, well-known performers. And so he has written for them in the past, and this particular work I knew about, even though it had never been played, because he had told me that he had written this work for them, but
how neat.
You know, it had not been played, so we're going to
That's got to make you feel good, a formal student coming back and
not just as a student of the department, but he was a member of my orchestra.
Yeah,
so
that's got to make you
good.
just, because that's what it's all about, right?
Absolutely.
So this is happening on Friday, June 7th at the Barco Theater. And then just a couple days later, and this is the one we're going to talk about a little bit more, something that just has to be a tremendous event for you. And this is with your twin brother.
Correct. This is actually a work, this is to feature a work that was written by one of my late colleagues. He was at UCI when I got there in 2000. He had been there since, I think, 87 or 82 or 87. But he passed away in 2013, and he had been a very kind mentor to me. As a matter of fact, truth be told, he's the person who encouraged me to stay at UCI when I was looking at other possibilities. So I have a very special feeling, you know, about him.
Yeah.
And then when his wife mentioned to me that he had written this work that she came across in his works as they were archiving all this stuff at UCI, she said, "What is this?" And she had never heard it. Nobody had ever played it. She remembered when he spent a whole year writing it on his sabbatical, but didn't know how to get it played. And she tugged at my heartstring by saying, "I'd love to hear it before I die." Well, I mean, so I said, well, the good way to do this, since it's a big cantata, would be to involve my identical twin, who is the director of choral activities at the University of Kansas. So that became almost impossible to imagine, but he and I spoke about it. And gratefully, I'm so grateful to the University of Kansas that their School of Music took this on and said, we will support through our funding, our donors, we'll send 50 singers out.
Wow.
Including one soloist and one accompanist to rehearse with the chorus when they're here.
Yeah.
And to be a part of the orchestra. And so they're paying for all of that to come out. So we provide the other funding for the other part of it. They're coming out, getting here on Monday, rehearsing through the week, and then on the 9th, Sunday, we're at Soca.
So this is you've got your full orchestra, you've got a full chorus.
Correct.
Together.
And
wow.
3 soloists.
Now, are you and your brother going to be on stage together at the same time conducting? He's looking at the chorus, you're looking at the orchestra, or are you going to change off?
No, we're doing separate portions of the concert. So in addition to doing Bernard Gilmore's Journey to Freedom, we're going to do a work by a composer from the University of Kansas. So Forrest Pierce wrote a work called Mirror Cantata. So we have 2 cantatas on the program. And Forrest is coming out too for this. So we have both universities really fully invested in this. And so he will conduct Forrest's piece, and I will conduct the Gilmore Journey to Freedom, so that we don't have too much confusion, so the chorus and the orchestra can tell us apart. Just kidding.
I think it would be funny if you didn't tell anybody. You just walked off, and your brother walked off, and thinking it's the same guy. And then at the end, you come in from different sides.
I think everybody will know.
That would be funny.
The difference, yeah.
So tell me about your background, because we were talking beforehand. You know, I just assumed that your parents were very musical. Now, but they weren't. How did you guys get to this journey? If I remember correctly, are you from Jamaica?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So how did you both get into the world of music when your parents weren't part of it? I mean, I find that remarkable.
I always like to make the distinction. My parents were musical, but not musically practicing.
Okay.
So they didn't play anything. But I can only say that this came probably as a surprise to them, that we had what we displayed early on in life, which is a keen, interest and sense of music. So, to their credit, they encouraged it. And out of the 6 siblings, the 2 of us decided to go in this direction. We took different paths. We went in different directions. We left music. My brother became a commercial pilot. And then came back to music. And so it's not like we were stuck in music. We chose to come back to music. So we were exposed to it, had good teachers in Jamaica, and then when we moved to New York City, we were able to branch out.
Wow, I think that's remarkable. And how often do you brothers get to work together?
Not a lot.
I mean, being that he's in Kansas, but
But actually, that the picture you're looking at was done at Kansas, where we both conducted on the same program.
All right.
So Kansas actually played the gimmick already of having us both. So this is actually the first time that we're doing this out here, but they beat us to it by having both of us on the same program.
Yeah, that is so cool. So, both programs, we always give the website arts.uci.edu/Laguna, and that's where you can get ticket pricing on that. And so you go to that, and both of these, even though this other one's at Soca, will be listed on there.
Right, and it's easier to get tickets for the 9th through Soca.
Okay.
But everything can be accessed through the School of the Arts at UCI.
Yeah.
This first program, though, let's not overlook this one, because this is going to have some fantastic music. Outside of the world premiere, we're doing a Mozart overture, and then Howard Hanson's Second Symphony, which for all the moviegoers, they're going to hear things that they're going to wonder, where did I hear that? And I will tell them. That influenced a lot of the movie things you heard later on, like John Williams' stuff.
Oh, really cool.
Yep.
That'll be a lot of fun. So, you got a busy weekend next week, right?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So when does your brother get out here?
They get in Monday.
Okay.
Monday morning, very early. And they stay all week, rehearse at UCI, and we get to it.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Actually, Stephanie Zelnick, one of the clarinetists, she's the clarinet professor at Kansas. This just worked out coincidentally, that they have 50 singers here, and she had already been booked by me to do the Baraba piece with her her dual mate.
That is fantastic.
And so it's amazing that we have the KU UCI connection happening. Right?
Well, I think this is absolutely wonderful. And of course, folks, again, you can find out about this arts.uci.edu and then find out there. The SoCA one, by the way, is performingarts.soca.edu, but you can go through either one for both of those, but it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
A lot of fun for you.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, you know, one day we'll have to get your brother on.
Yes. Yes, that would be a good idea.
That would be a lot of fun.
Then you'll see if we're any different.
Who's older?
I was born before him.
Okay, there you go.
He says I'm an older guy.
Yes. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, Ken.
Good to see you.
Okay.
And folks, we're just about out of time, so once again, have a good weekend. Our movie today is Bumblebee, so if you want to see that, one of the Transformer movies at 2 and at 7 o'clock. And then we got a good weekend ahead, a little bit of fog in the morning, a little thick marine layer, but other than that, it's going to be very nice. Get out and check this out on June 7th at UCI at the Barclay, and then June 9th at SoCA Performing Arts Center. It's going to be a couple wonderful events by this gentleman, and then the next couple days later, this guy and his brother. That's going to be worth seeing. Take care. We'll be right back. Or no, we're gone. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.